Okay, welcome back to the Pals Podcast. We're going to try something a little bit different today. Instead of doing an intro, we are going to do the intro right at the beginning of the episode. So today, we have Chip from the Boys of 98 on the pod. Chip, I guess tell us a little bit about yourself in like 60 to 120 seconds.
Okay. First of all, thanks for having me. And sorry, I wanted to say on the record too, this has been supposed to be done for like, I want to say like 6+ months now, maybe even more. Honestly, couldn't even last summer.
Do you know, it was last summer, but then when I saw you in Ohio, that's when we lined up. We said, when you boys are back, we're going to do it over at Christmas. I think we said we were going to do it.
And
that was also wild.
Wild coincidence.
That was the day you went with DB.
So yeah, long story short, Danny, I was doing the American Thanksgiving like little football tour. And ironic, I saw that he was in Ohio for Ohio State versus Michigan.
Great game. Electric fucking.
The whole thing is just wild.
Midway was so fun. So fun.
We're in Ohio, and I see that he's there, and like the Boys 98, they're doing this like thing at the bar, and I was like, "Yo, we're gonna roll through." He messaged me. I'm like, "What time?" He goes like, "Oh, we're gonna be there for like 7 a.m." I'm like,
"No, 5. We're there at 5 a.m."
I'm like, "Bro, the game starts at 1." He's like, "Yeah, no, we're going for 5."
5 a.m.
So that's a thing. So it's like the biggest rivalry in all of college sports. Apparently, that's a fact. So it's Ohio State, Michigan, and they were both undefeated. And the winner of this was almost like certain you're going to the college football playoffs. And last
like the big bowl.
Okay, yeah, 5 a.m. How do you even make it to the game?
So so here's the thing. A lot of not all the students go to the game, and the tickets were stupid fucking expensive.
So tickets to this game, tickets sell instantly because everybody from all over, like everyone who's graduated from Michigan or Ohio, like wants to go to this game. So everybody flies in or drives in, and actually no, it's a close drive. It's only a 3-4 hour drive.
Yeah, it's close. It's just
between Columbus and Detroit.
Yeah.
So it's sold out. Tickets, the cheapest tickets were like $400 American.
Yeah.
$400 American for the cheapest, shittiest
tickets.
And these are like 60,000 person stadiums.
Yeah.
So we end up just meeting up with him and his buddies, go to this bar, and this bar is like, I don't even know how to explain this bar.
It's like
picture an old house with a big backyard with kind of like an open area and that's like kind of run down.
Yes.
Like picture like Jim Bob's, kind of like a Jim Bob's.
Like the Maddie?
Yeah, like the Maddie almost. Kind of like
I've never been to the Maddie. I'm not familiar with like Toronto nightlife like you guys probably are.
Similar to the Maddie, like just your typical college bar. So me and DB got there at 7 a.m. I kid you not, Danny. 7 a.m. and there's a lineup and like
slammed.
People are fucking going. Like actually,
it's like worse than like a Hoko.
No, but it's better.
No, I'm saying.
But
like,
it's like a homecoming.
Yes,
it's like homecoming
or
St. Patty's Day.
You wake up, you start drinking,
Yeah.
like you're going. But
or
that's
St.
like
Patty's Day.
even earlier.
It felt like St. Patty's Day. Me and DB, we couldn't believe it. We were just like, what the fuck just happened?
So
you're also with college kids, and you guys are in your 30s.
We were working with the bar, and and I told them, hey, what are we putting on the graphic? Because my graphic guy's going to put together, we're just hosting this event at Midway. And they're like, we're going to be open at 4, but you can put like 4:35. Like, we're going to be serving, like, people are going to be having breakfast and drinks at that time. I'm like, wait, what? They're like, no, yeah, like we'll be there. Staff's getting there for 3:45. Like we're gonna be there. And I was like, they were dead.
You know what the best part is? Wait, if they opened at 4, think about it, they probably didn't even close from the night before.
No, some years, like past years, they wouldn't. It would just be a full through and just change staff. They wouldn't even do it. How fucked is that? That it's like this is.
You could go out the night before, stay out.
Yes.
Well,
and just keep going.
So some people don't go out the night before because it's a full like.
Well, you have to like.
Yeah, it's an 18-hour
get
shift.
ready.
It's an 18-hour shift.
The people that go out the night before are planning to maybe just go straight there from whatever bar they are, or like take a 30-minute, like get food and then go straight to the bar. If you are gonna stay up all night, which I don't recommend.
No.
That was wild. And then Michigan won that game, didn't they?
Which was fucking bad. It was for our video. Our video was good because Mac's a diehard Michigan guy, and for the video, it was like he was the villain. You know what I mean? Like, bro, he had girls like hitting him in the face, like for a bit. Obviously, they'd be like, "I want to slap you in the face." So like, yeah, slap him for the face, and actually like hitting him, like guys like chirping him, flipping him off, and it was good for our video. But I kind of low key wish Ohio State won.
Oh man, it was Danny. To put in perspective, picture. You know when, I know, someone wins the World Cup, like Italy wins the World Cup, like that, and College Street's just a fucking nightmare.
Best time ever.
That's what it was like.
Yeah.
Like it was actually the streets are just flooded with people. Yeah. Everybody's dressing. Anyone who's wearing blue was like getting hate on.
No, like you're getting like bad things said to you, like terrible human things said to you.
I might go to Michigan this year for that same game again. Because now it's in Michigan this year.
Yeah. What are you gonna wear though? You're gonna wear Michigan.
Yeah,
you're not gonna wear. I was about to say you're not gonna wear.
I don't care. Right? I'm not like I don't have a college football team.
Neither do I.
I don't care. I'm just like I'll go to Walmart or Target, wherever the closest store is, and I'll just buy like whatever's
I wasn't actually big into college sports at all until we started doing the tours. And then I understand why it's mainly college football is so beloved. Even basketball. Like, I understand the hype now.
It's amazing. It's actually amazing.
It's way better than the NFL.
I would agree with you.
There's so much more fun, loyalty. The tailgates is not even comparable.
Before we get into it, because Danny you don't know much about Buzzin.
No, that's why I was going to bring it back. Like, go back. I just have so many questions because like I actually don't know a lot about you guys.
Correct.
But wait, I want to tell a story about the time I went to the Big House.
Okay.
We saw Michigan U versus Michigan State. So another big rivalry.
Was that... This was 2021?
No, this is 2019 or 18.
Okay,
no,
few years
this
back.
is not cast. This is like we went on a boys trip.
Okay.
So we were going to watch the Cowboys versus Lions on the Sunday, and the Saturday was Michigan.
You're a Lions guy, right?
No, I'm actually a Titans guy. You want something crazy?
They followed you on Instagram. I saw that story. I did see that story. I should have known that.
You know how many people I told at the bar? Everyone said the same thing. Shut up. They didn't follow you. I was like,
how sick? Did they message you anything, or they just followed you?
It was out of the blue.
That's weird.
So I have a viral video. I had a video going viral, and it's like thing, and like you said, like I'm at a sporting event. You can clearly see I'm at the Titans field, and I got my Titans gear on. And it went viral. So maybe like the marketing manager, or someone saw that.
Someone saw.
But they didn't follow me on TikTok, just on Instagram. So I was just like, what the fuck? And then I DM'd them instantly, and I was like, yo, greatest follow ever.
What'd they say?
And they hit me with the handshake emoji. And I was just like, yo, if you guys ever need content, you ever need anything, like I don't even know if you guys do like influencer campaigns, like just please like keep me
fly me out to every home game, please. I want bar nights in Nashville.
Yeah, I'll fucking pay myself. Just get me on the field, let me do something.
That's actually sick.
But then they said we're working on it. I said if you ever need something, like keep me in with, like
that's
they responded working on it. So I don't know if like they're working on a social media campaign, or if they're working maybe with something with me. I don't know.
They're probably trying to, well, their season's right around the corner. They're probably trying to figure out what can we do. You know what I mean? Because everyone nowadays is trying to get like fly people in.
The best part is it's like
aren't that many Titans fans. So.
Well, not in Canada for sure. So the best part is like now I have a direct line.
That's
like
good.
I have direct communications with someone in the marketing department, and I do shit with NFL Canada. So I feel really good.
You got the good brand.
I feel like something's happening.
You got the good.
But wait, back to the story. Back to the original story. So 2019, we're there, big house, and we started tailgating early. We're pre-drinking. We're going hard, and I got so drunk. Sorry, Mom. I got so drunk that at one point I was on my phone and I fully like passed out in my seat. So I'm like this.
Wait, are you in the game? Is this in the game?
In the middle of the game, like second half, and I'm just like this, and everybody thought I was fighting with my ex-girlfriend at the time because like I literally I was like this.
Oh, like you're glued to your phone.
Yeah, but people didn't realize I actually passed out.
You just knocked
out. I was just out cold, fully out cold for like 10 minutes in the middle of the game.
Did anyone like shake you?
One person grabbed me. It's like, yo, because they were all saying like, yo, what the fuck's going on? Is he fighting with like his ex-girlfriend or his girlfriend at the time?
Yeah.
And then one person, someone grabbed my phone, like his phone's off, and they like peeked down like, yo, he's fucking sleeping. they woke me up. Yeah, and then we were going, because you know what got us? So you obviously they don't sell booze in the stadium at college football games. I don't know if you know that. No booze at college football. Or I think any college sports. Yeah. So we ended up like sneaking in a couple little the little guys, and we were drinking Fireball, and I fucking hate Fireball too. But I remember like just crushing 2 little ones before we went in, and you can crush them fairly easy.
It's like game over after that.
Yeah, and then boom, out cold. But we ended up having a good time. Then we ripped a casino after too, and we rented an RV too, which made it even better.
That's fun. That's so fun.
Well, and that loops us back into your tour and what you do. So take it away.
Okay, so essentially a few years back. So I went to Waterloo, University of Waterloo, studied engineering. Funny, I'm not really using that anymore.
Wow, I did not know that.
Boring.
But it's not like the true.
Wow. Did not expect that.
No one does. That's like, that is probably like, if you want to like confuse someone at the bar, oh, I studied engineering, they'd be like, no, you didn't. Like,
no, but like engineering's one thing, but it's like also like University of Waterloo engineering. Yeah. It's not like you went to Western, Laurier, anything. It's like, yeah, it's big, Waterloo, but it's like
fair,
also.
Though, it wasn't like I'm not like a computer engineer or anything like that. It's management engineering. So it's kind of like a business oriented engineering. Like I'm not like making anything, you know what I mean? It's more so looking at it from overseas. Studied engineering at Waterloo during my 4th, because it's a 5-year program. When COVID happened, we started TikTok, but it wasn't anything like, we were just doing TikTok fall 2019 because everyone fall 2019, even at the start of 2020, was just posting on TikTok. Didn't really have, honestly, making the most cringy videos. If you want to go on the Boys 98 TikTok in our very first videos, they are terrible. Like, you will look at me differently. You'll look at me like, this guy's a loser.
I make the craziest. I make the cringiest TikToks. Don't worry.
Yours aren't bad though. That's the thing. Yours aren't bad. It's just dudes hate you because you're good looking. That's what it is. Anyways, once we're back home, it's like May now. We have like 10,000 followers on TikTok. Nothing crazy. But we sat down. We're like, you know what? It's COVID. There's nothing to do. We all live on the same street. Me and my 4 guys, me, Chanchi, Macro, and Steph. So there's 4 of us in the group. And we said, let's meet up once a day and just make a video that we like. And we did our niche was college, sports, drinking, party lifestyle. And over that summer 2020, videos started just going essentially. And we gained about 300,000 followers in summer 2020. And it was like, we started gaining traction.
I'm just gonna assume for a second you guys are all born in '98.
That's where we get the name.
No, I just need to make sure. I was not
Some
stupid.
people will ask too, what is that?
No, I just wanted to make sure. But but this, you guys finished university then as 2020. That was last year.
So it was a 5-year program. I finished in 2021. Correct. Okay. So while at the end of 2020 summer, 300K on TikTok, we've all been YouTube guys growing up. So we said, you know what, why don't we start a YouTube channel too? This could be a good segue into trying to get this following from TikTok to follow us on, Instagram, YouTube. Started YouTube, and at the first, in August 2020, and it was just drinking oriented videos. And if you go back, they're no longer on the channel because we got some strikes later on from YouTube, but it was very heinous drinking videos, like 100 cup, flip cup, 200 cup beer pong. We were vigorously yakking, and it was actually bad. YouTube didn't like that, took it down. And then we started doing the tours in 2021. And we've been rocking since then with the Buzzin Across America series, where we go to different colleges, rate the party life, and that's where we're at now.
Okay, what's your favorite woman?
College?
Yeah.
I mean, the highest ranked is the University of Alabama.
From you, not from the whole group. What is your favorite?
I liked Alabama. I think Alabama was the most Alabama, but I'll also dash in maybe I'll do LSU, Penn State.
I was hoping Alabama because I just
LSU game day was the LSU gets it for the game day and the bar life. That was the Freds and LSU was the best bar.
Have you been to Mississippi?
Ole Miss, yeah.
So we went there.
Another good school.
So Alabama was playing Ole Miss. Or no, not Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
We're going there this year.
There, I kid you not. What weekend are you going? I might come down and meet you.
LSU weekend, week 3.
I kid you not. Those are the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my entire life.
Have you been to Ole Miss?
No.
Okay.
So
maybe it's the state of Mississippi.
So Mississippi, we were driving through it. This is when we were doing the cast road trip.
Yep.
And it's just me and George for these couple days. So we were gonna go to watch the game, whatever. Yeah. And they're playing Alabama, so tickets again were crazy. Anytime
stupid.
So we didn't go. So we went to the frat. Me and George were in a frat at Western. So every time we'd go to a state or a school.
Frat?
He doesn't even know.
Lambda Chi.
There you go.
Lambda Chi Alpha.
There you go.
I went blank there for a second. So we went to their house. We met up and then Sigma Chi. We were friends with a lot of Sigma Chi guys too. So we went to the steak house, and I walked in, and I just remember looking at George. I was like, George, every woman here is fucking beautiful.
I don't know.
Now, mind you, I'm a little bit older now too, so it's different, right? But I was just like, holy fuck! Everywhere you look, brunette, blue eyes, stunning body. I'm like, and they're all fairly tan because you're down south.
Down south, yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm in love.
Also, children.
Well, I mean,
yeah. He's just saying
I was 30. I was 31 at the time. They were 21 to 20. You know what I mean? It's not like I've hooked up with girls who are 21.
Okay, it's legal.
You know
it's also more so he's just stating they were
attractive.
Yeah.
Once there's a 2, as long as there's a 2, you can't be in under. You can't be 19. That's just weird.
Yeah.
You have to be drinking age across North America.
I agree. I'm a strict 20. Yeah, 21 plus.
21's nice.
Yep, I like that.
But anyways, I remember thinking these women are the most beautiful women ever.
I remember we went out in Ole Miss because we were at the Ole Miss Alabama game, and we were.
Do you guys go to a lot of the games, or just more for the tailgate?
No, we have to go. So because we have a Bet Online. That our main monetization is our sponsor, Bet Online. Love the people over there. Offshore gambling company. We got a year-long deal with them, so we have to go to the game to showcase our bets. Showcase the actual stadium, and it's good for the rating too to show how is it some stadiums. I can tell you, do not get as after it compared to others. Even the SEC, South Carolina wasn't as good. Keep in mind, we went for a bad game there. But compared to Tennessee, we went to a good game in Tennessee.
Volunteers?
Yeah, dude. Another great school. I got a story
about that too.
Have you been to... Oh, yeah.
I'm going to tell you this.
Tennessee guy.
We took a road trip down about 7 years ago, and we did University of Tennessee homecoming.
Who they play? Alabama?
No, they played... I can't remember.
Sure, yeah.
But again, sea of orange in there. It's just fucking wild. Mm-hmm. And then you go to the game, same thing. We didn't know that you weren't allowed to bring in alcohol, so we just chugged a whole bunch of fucking drinks. And we were drinking sourpuss because that was all the guy outside the stadium was selling, and we didn't know they didn't sell. So we literally chugged fucking sourpuss right before we got it. It was the worst thing ever. But yeah, anyways, Tennessee's wild.
Insane.
Are you guys doing Tennessee this year?
We went last year for the Florida game, and it was surreal. But the state of Mississippi, when we went out in Ole Miss, we were with one of the football guys. We went out to this Wine Wednesday, where he's like, you go out to this nice Italian restaurant, we get wine, then we go to the bars. Never seen that before in a college town, but he said it's a known thing where everyone will dress up nice to go to this Italian restaurant, get wine, and then you go out to the bars. So I'm like, this is a call. Like, keep in mind, I've never seen it. We went out. Everyone's looking great. Getting fucked up on fucking wine. Then you go out after, and the girls were stunning. You know what's wild? The guys were not attractive. I think the guy to girl ratio was like, I was looking at some of these dudes. How is he pulling that?
Personalities, buddy. They got good personalities.
No, and I get it. I understand, but I like if you show up in that wine restaurant, people are gonna be like, turn heads type of thing. These guys are looking at the girls, and I was looking at the guys. And it didn't make sense. It literally didn't make sense. Good guys though, man. Yeah.
So Danny, just to give you a rundown. So what we did with the cast road trip, they basically did, but for content.
Yeah.
So they traveled all throughout the States. You guys don't have an RV. You guys do in a Sprinter kind of van, right?
We now have a Chevy Tahoe. It's like a business car, which is great. And then we have a trailer that holds all the equipment.
And you guys need an RV. You need a fucking RV.
No, RVs are gross, dude. We just came back from Boots. I don't know how people do RVs. I think it's disgusting.
Well,
Why?
It's just this. I'm not that guy.
I'm
not an RV guy.
I'm not an RV person. I had to go a week with them in an RV.
How was it?
When
clean?
we're not that close at this point.
This is when we
became close.
Yeah.
So I'm going because my best friend's dating George, and I'm like, okay, fine, let's just go do it with them. I didn't shower for 4 days.
That's gross. That's what I'm saying. That's gross.
I was sleeping on a hard rock, and I was too scared to tell them my back hurts.
So
it's gross.
But once you figure out the RV life, it's the best thing ever. So
yeah.
This is what you do. Planet Fitness in the States, you get a free 1-day membership to any Planet Fitness. Yeah. They're all franchises, so they're all individually owned. So you can get a 1-day trial membership at every single Planet Fitness in the States.
This is fucked. Okay.
So you shower there, you poo there, you get ready there, everything's great. You park at Walmart's because Walmart's give you free Wi-Fi and free parking. The bathrooms in the back get cleaned every morning at the same fucking time. I can't remember if it's 8:30 or 9 a.m. Should they get cleaned at the same time? So you go straight to the back as soon as they get cleaned, and they're fresh.
This is fucked.
So you get a fresh, clean bathroom. And there's never a line because nobody knows there's a bathroom at the back of a Walmart.
I didn't know that.
No, because everyone uses the scummy ones at the front. You go to the back near the electronics section. Boom. So we had planned out every morning. So we'd either go to the gym first thing in the morning, we'd get our workout in, do our things. Then we'd go. Either we did Planet Fitness in the morning or at the end of the day, and then wherever the opposite, we were at Walmart.
I get it.
So then you always had, and like some Planet Fitnesses had steam rooms too. So
they do.
Some of them, they got the massage chairs, and some of them were
massage chairs. Yep.
Some of them were great.
Killer.
So we didn't figure this out till probably halfway on the trip, but once you figure out these little tips, it was fucking great. Like at most Walmarts or Targets have a Starbucks attached to it in the States. So you go there, you get your espresso, and Walmart and Target both have like 3 cookies for $1. So that was my morning routine. I'd go to Starbucks, grab espresso, grab the 3 cookies, walk around, eat the 3 cookies, have my espresso, go to the back with my toiletry bag, take a shit, brush my teeth when the bathroom's fucking clean too, and then I'd come out. I actually did serious. I was rating Walmart bathrooms in different cities.
You posted that?
Yeah. Well, this is like
who had the nicest? Which was the worst and best?
I can't remember.
Oh, you gotta know which one the nice. No,
I can't remember now. But we had some. We stayed in some scary Walmarts. So it came a point when we were traveling, we'd Google the city just to find out how bad the crime rate was.
That was my idea. Yeah. Because I was terrified.
Smart move. Because some of them are Baton Rouge, LSU, terrible.
We were
in the States. You can literally be driving and it's in a great area. 2 minutes later, it's an awful area.
One right turn.
And I don't want to be caught in that in an purple RV.
Yeah,
like we are screaming, come get us.
I'm not from here. Don't ruin me.
No, but there was one time we were driving. I think we were in Baltimore. I think it was just like me, George, and one other
scary place.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So we're driving through and we're like, hey, like we know we're here for the night. We need to figure out like what's the plan. I think we were going to Howard University or Howard College, whatever it's called, or Maryland. Can't remember.
Probably UMD. Could have been UMD.
One of the two. So we're like trying to find a good Walmart to park at. And we're like Googling like this city, 3rd worst city in the state of Baltimore. We're like, okay. Or Maryland. Fuck. Next city over. 4th worst city. We find one. It's like, this was the 20th worst city in the state. So we're like, fuck, this is the best. We parked. I kid you not. We don't know if it was fireworks or gunshots.
Holy shit.
But like as soon as we parked, we drop our blinds. We open up the RV. And we hear this. We look at each other. We're like,
I would have had a heart attack.
Yeah, let's go. We closed up everything, started driving. We drove another like hour to get away.
Even in Buffalo, like like our first night there, we had a hectic day. We're in Buffalo, okay?
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad, but that was the day someone rode on the RV. We had no clue. We're sitting in there.
Yeah.
It gets freaky. But anyways, the idea with the RV, if you do it properly, you figure out your thing.
I'm not that guy.
So where do you sleep? Like in hotels?
So we do Airbnbs usually, and then if the game day gets fucked, depending on the place. If you're in a big city like Austin, Texas, UT, there's going to be Airbnbs. Or Cincinnati, UC, there's going to be Airbnbs. These small towns like fucking Ames, I think Iowa, which is Iowa State. We're going to Iowa State for the rivalry game against Iowa. So the entire state is going down there. Chancey literally said he's the one that books the stuff. Forget about Airbnbs. We got to do a hotel. We're like splitting up from like an Airbnb till Thursday and then hotel Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because it's just way too much. And even the hotel is super expensive. So it'll either be like worst case Airbnb or just a split Airbnb hotel.
Do you guys share a room, all four of you?
No. The worst you'll get is like there's like a king that two dudes will share.
That's not bad at
like
all.
It's never even bad. They're usually pretty good, but like someone maybe will get a couch. Maybe. But usually it's like your own room or like two guys share a room.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's honestly really good what we get.
How do you guys, so there's four of you.
Yeah.
And then do you have like, I guess the company or the business, does it have like extra employees and stuff?
We have a main. And
then like, what's the split? Like, who does what? Like, who's responsible for what things?
Okay.
I'm so curious.
Yeah, good question.
And do you guys ever fight too?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's every
business.
Like, I would be lying if I said no, we're great. You know what I mean? I think we'll have our disagreements, but a lot of it also comes from like, you know, keep in mind sometimes we're like drunk and filming, so there could be just stupidity being drunk or something like that. Where you got to keep calm with the group. Where like our editor, videographer, who's also our driver. Sometimes we'll have to make sure everyone's under control. That's actually a low key the hardest part. If we're all really fucked, he's got to make sure we're all like, hey, it's time to go home. Everyone get in the car so I can drive us home. You know what I mean? Like some stupid just guys being drunk type thing. But in regards to who we have on staff, Maddie, editor, videographer, had him since first Buzzin Across America season 1 in the fall 2021. He's a dog. He's a homie. Gets his shit done. We're actually looking for a second videographer and intern. That we usually do for the tours. We'll always have two because you need two. Because you just need more. You can't just have one because there's different characters. You're gonna need two guys going off with one camera, one guy going with the other. It's just better. And then it also helps him during the week. That guy can cut up. There's 8+ hours of footage typically for one of the Buzzin Across America videos. He just cuts it up for Maddie. Maddie like pieces it together. Go. In regards to like who does what, Chancey handles a lot of like the back end stuff, sponsorship, partnership, booking, where we're going to be, financials type thing. A lot of what I do, at least for these tours, is where are we going? So what frat we're working with, bar event, photographer for the week, athlete for the week, where are we doing tours? I'm basically like, I'm the connection guy. If you need to talk to someone, talk to Chip. Chip's going to be your guy. So I'm like, I'm also more of the social one within the group. Yeah. Mac runs our podcast, so he doesn't edit it. We have like an AI thing that just uploads to YouTube, which is actually really good and like clips together like all the audios. But he'll just do the podcast.
How many cameras do you guys have? 2?
3, two man, 3. And then when
what's that app called though?
We're on the road 4. It's an AI thing. I can get you for it after. Change will know. So when we're on the road though, we'll have someone doing the man podcast. So 4. So an overview, 2 angle ones, and then a panned one.
Wow.
So 4.
Legit.
Yeah, no, it's pretty. Yeah, it's Squad Bunch podcast. So he does that, and then Steph will do like. We have like a couple other like TikTok accounts that are like run. We have Buzzin News, which he clips up all my interviews because I do interviews at every school. So he'll clip up like our best like interviews and just post them to that TikTok account. So a little bit of like. Everyone's kind of just handling something else.
Yeah, and then everyone like if somebody needs help, you guys all kind of chip in.
Yeah, there you go. So that's quickly what the 5 of us do. But when we're on the tours, we've been rotating through that second videographer editor, which is it's kind of hard because our job's different. You live with us. This isn't like a 9 to 5 where you can fuck the person off after a certain hour. You gotta like the person. As fucked up as that is, like
man, I get it.
You need to like the person, and it's just sometimes you'll have like living situations that are just different. Whether someone being dirty or just not your vibe, not your kind of guy, and then some people get more so lost in everything. You know what I mean? They're a young guy getting thrown into these bar frat events. A lot of people like coming up to us and stuff, and they kind of lose track of themselves. Which you gotta like. Remember, you're doing a job here. You can't lose sight of that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to find that right person that has the right mentality of wanting to join a team and being serious what they do. So we're going through the 3rd time of this to try to find a second guy. But yeah.
Fuck. And then I don't know if this is kosher. I don't know if I'm allowed to. How's like the business work? You guys all, is it 4 of you? You guys all like equal partners in it?
Yeah, equal split, 25, 25.
Oh, that's good.
We started that. Well, we started it.
You almost have to.
Yeah. We started it. The business was incorporated. We started making content in 2019. The business was incorporated, I think, like fall 2020.
Okay, so you guys were basically right on it. Mm-hmm. That's good though, because again, it is. Especially what you guys do, and I guess you're gonna kind of follow the same footsteps as like kind of like what Nelk did, right? Yeah. Nelk at the beginning was all booze drinking stuff, right? Like the very beginning, they were all just hard drinking. Now they've kind of transitioned into pranks and doing other things. Yeah. Obviously, you guys aren't doing pranks; you're doing more like the road trips and the schools, and
correct.
It's wild. Do you guys have any plans to do anything in Canada? Or are you guys gonna just focus on the States?
We've gotten so many messages, but I think just from seeing the Ohio State mission, you've done your own tour. I think you know the level of even a fucking Saturday weekend or a homecoming weekend in like Western or Laurier. It doesn't even compare to that Ohio State.
That's like a normal weekend in the States.
Every Saturday is a homecoming. Every single Saturday. And it's just, people say like, oh, why don't you come to Guelph for a weekend? And it's just that's just like me just going to Guelph. Like there's no spice there. There's nothing there. You know what I mean? It's
you go into Choppers and it's like a regular bar night out.
The thing is, for you to do Guelph, it would have to be when football season isn't in the States. So let's say if the Canadian football season, so let's say, CFL is whatever, June till November. Okay, then maybe it would have been something. Maybe you go like a Rough Riders game in the summertime or something. But you can't.
Who watches this?
Yeah, you can't.
I don't know.
It's like, how do you justify going to Guelph for their homecoming, which is the biggest night of the biggest day of their year, or even Western? I'm a Western guy. Love Western.
Great time.
You cannot compare Western homecoming to a rivalry game in the States.
No chance. It's that they were at the bar at 4 a.m. There's just nothing to beat it. And I think it's tough because, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I loved, I'm good with one. Thank you. Like, don't get me wrong. I was a Waterloo, big Laurier guy. Like, I've been around. I've seen the Canada schools and I want them to be good. Like, I want to give Canada this great rep, but it just doesn't compete. It literally, and people like tell me, why don't you do it? Oh, it's not going to be as good.
I know, I understand. My mom went to high school in the States, and like for them too, like sports was just so big there.
Even
like,
high school
Friday
sports.
night, like
football.
High school sports, like that's what they did. My mom, like that's all we talked about. I'm like, hey, why couldn't we go to school in the States? Like that's all I ever wanted.
Yeah, it's why.
It's
Where did she go?
New Canaan.
Where's that?
Connecticut.
Okay, that's another good sports school. UConn just won fucking March Madness this year. Look at that.
Well, the women's team always they were,
and they're always good. Yeah. South Carolina.
We basically got not chased off by the cops at UConn, but yeah.
Where'd you? So I want to ask about your tour because you did do your tour. Where did you go and what did you like?
We did Toronto.
We started in Buffalo.
So we went Toronto to Buffalo, and then we went to the East Coast.
University of Buffalo.
Yeah, University of Buffalo.
Okay.
Then we did Syracuse same day.
That's wild.
Syracuse, then we hit Boston, was day 3. Boston College, Boston U.
Okay.
But Boston College was like kind of quiet, and it was a rainy day.
Yeah.
So we ended up doing Boston U. We parked right on like the main strip and like fucking right in front of the library.
We had the best day ever at Boston U.
And it was crazy. Then we broke our RV in Boston. So we had the canopies open because it was raining. So we had this good spot. People were coming underneath our canopy for rain. Yeah. We killed it. We did like, I don't know, 500 downloads. Like
it was literally me and you.
Yeah, it was like 800 downloads. Our previous record was like 200, 250. So we're stoked.
You're still,
so we get in the RV. We're like, let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go. And me and Danny hadn't showered at this point. So we're like, let's go get some water. We'll go shower. We're on day 3.
Problems of living in an RV.
We're like excited. We're like, oh my God, we're going to have a great meal.
We're going to go for a nice dinner to reward ourselves.
Actually a real meal.
Yeah. We're going to because we were like basically eating like $1 like microwave dinners.
Yeah, disgusting.
So me and George get him. I'm like, you ready? He's like, yeah, we're good. I didn't even fucking look. I just fucking put it in drive, started driving. Don't we fucking take down a street sign with our canopy? So like those non-parking signs. Like, we took one down. Like completely took this thing down. The canopy is basically dangling off. We're like, fuck. So we get out. We look like this is terrible. So we try to roll it back up. It doesn't roll. And so it's like the RV and the canopy is kind of like half on, half off.
This is a rented RV?
Yeah, rented RV.
Oh,
so and I've told the story on the pod, but I haven't said it in a while. So I'm gonna tell the whole fucking story because it's great. So we're all like, what the fuck? Sure. Ironically, this is Hurricane Irma. Ida or Irma?
Hurricane Ida.
Hurricane Ida's coming through fucking Boston. Same thing.
Like Boston, New York. That was like that.
So we're like, you know what? Let's just let's find a Home Depot. Like I'm not a handyman, but like I'm fairly handy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's find a Home Hardware. We'll get some straps. We'll strap it down. We'll figure this out. Maybe we can even fix it. So we go to Home Hardware or Home Depot. And at this point, it's fucking pissing rain. So we buy some straps. We buy some like little tools. We're like, hey, let's just try and strap it down. Me and George, I'm on top of the RV. George underneath. We're throwing the straps, trying to strap.
We're like flashlights, literally
like
we're sitting there, umbrellas, trying to like block.
We're trying to fucking strap this canopy down because you remember the streets of Boston are really tight too, right? They're one lane each way plus parking, and you got the trees hanging over. So it's a fucking nightmare. We're like, fuck. So you know what? We couldn't fix it. We're like, you know what? Let's all just relax. Let's get a good night's sleep. Let's have dinner. And then we'll figure this out.
Figure it out in the morning. Yeah.
We did. I think we watched Harry Potter or something that night. Watched Harry Potter. Just had a nice, quiet night.
Didn't talk. We were all I think we made like a couple TikToks.
Yeah, you're all just so
like
drained, right? You're just like, fuck, man. We just had the best day ever. And then this happened. Like, can't catch a fucking break.
Yeah, I get it.
Morning we wake up. We start calling every RV place in like the area we're in.
Everywhere, yeah.
And we were supposed to be going to... What school? A really big school the next day.
Well, we were gonna go to Harvard, and we were also gonna go to a Harvard party with my friend the night before.
So we we found this RV shop that was 2 hours away. So we're like, fuck. They had the same part we needed. They had a used part, the exact part we needed, for $300 or something.
Okay.
This is like a $1,500 part. So we're like, fuck it. So we ripped down
had to go.
Man's RV. I'll never forget it in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Jeremy was his name. Never forget this dude. So we get down there. We drive down there. We get there. He's like, fuck, that's crazy. Like, we're telling him the whole story about this whole RV trip, this thing. Yeah. Me and Danny still haven't showered at this point, though.
No, I snuck out when you guys were going to Home Depot. I went to
you showered. So I haven't showered. I'm 4 days in now without a shower.
Think about that line.
Like, that's wet disgusting. Wipes and shit. Disgusting.
Disgusting.
So we get to this RV place. They're like, yeah, we got everything. They fix it up in 2 hours.
They're like offering us food. Like, order us Chinese food. Do you guys want anything?
Yeah, like they thought what we were doing was so cool, and we were so grateful for their help. It was like the nicest thing. They filled up our water for the RV because we ran out of water.
Emptied everything.
Emptied our shit.
Like, they did everything.
And they charged us. They didn't even charge us the labor. They charged us $300.
Wow.
Best people ever. I'll never forget this.
Damn.
So now we're a little bit south. We're like, okay, we can't go back to Harvard. We can't do this. Fuck it. We're 45 minutes from Connecticut. We don't know anything about the school, but we know they got a big basketball program.
So did you have any like plans?
We had rough plans. We had rough plans. The problem is we didn't get permits for any school because the permits cost money. We didn't want to spend money. So we're like, let's just go. We're only there for a day. Like, what's the worst? We get kicked off. Right?
Yeah, I get it.
So we get to Connecticut. We park right in front of the fucking like student center.
Okay.
Like we're like prime spot, right on a bus lane.
Like right across from the
bus
gym
lane's
too.
like 200 meters long.
Yeah.
So like nobody's gonna fucking. So we go. We fucking kill it. We thought Boston was good. We did 1,000 in like 2 hours. 1,000 downloads in like 2 hours.
It was like less than 2 hours.
Was it just people like coming up and you guys like outside? Like,
so we had bucket hats, T-shirts, Viper glasses.
Yeah.
We had all these like merch. Like we had some, like the shit we got. I'll actually let you guys know because you guys can order for the people we did. Our bucket hats and our Viper glasses were fucking top notch.
Nice.
And like we paid like $3-5 for
this.
Like, they're stupid.
And like George would stand on the RV, take content.
Yeah, and we were like we had music going. It was just like a vibe.
It was a good time.
We did 1,000 downloads, something crazy. So then the guy from the studio said, hey, you can't park here. This is my building. I was like, oh, you own the building? You own this building?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't park here, blah. I was like, okay. So I'm going to call campus security. I was like, hey, just give me 3 minutes. I'll be out of here. Like,
sure.
We ran out of merch. We got nothing left anyways. Let's just get these people. So campus security comes. I'm like, hey, you know what? Cool. I'll get out of here. You're a rent-a-cop, basically.
Yeah. Rent-a-cop.
So I was like, you know what? They're like, okay, we're going to call the cops. So I'm like, hey, you know what? You guys want to? So I'm like, I'll move the RV. The girls and George, you guys finish up, get the rest of the downloads, and I'll fuck off. So I take the RV, I drive down the street, and I see where the football stadium is. So I'm like, you know what, there's a big parking lot there. I'll go. So I make a right. Problem is I didn't realize the street I made a right in was the parking garage, and there was a boulevard between the parking garage and the football stadium. Yeah. So I'm basically stuck there. I can't reverse because I'm in a fucking...
And he's by himself.
I'm in a 30-foot RV, so I can't reverse. So I'm like, okay, I'll just park here. I'll just wait for everybody else. I'm out of the way. I see like 20 students coming at me. Like they're coming to the RV. I'm like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do? Not work? Yeah. This is 20 downloads. I'm going to fucking get these 20
Yeah, you're getting these 20
So I open up, start getting the downloads. Don't Connecticut police show up. So I'm like, oh, fuck.
And then we start pulling up now.
So I'm like, yeah, guys, like license and registration. I was like, okay, sure, I give him my license. Like, what are you doing here? And the excuse was that we spoke to the student government president. That was our story every time.
What?
And it was an educational app. Yeah. The student government president let us go there.
Sure.
That's what we always said. Or like that was the story that we would go with. So security's the police is like, oh, what are you doing here? I'm like, tell them the story.
It's like the head of the Italian club. I'm pretty sure at this
point.
point.
No. So he said, who's your...
like something ridiculous.
Who's your guy? I'm like, oh, my cousin is the president of the student government. What's his name? I'm like, Vinny or...
Jimmy.
Nice.
Jimmy.
Good name.
Jimmy what? Jimmy Testaverde there or something. And sorry, what's he do?
Testaverde?
Yeah, no, it was something ridiculous.
Sure.
It's like some genetic. And they're like, can you call Jimmy? I was like, oh, I don't have his number now. It's back in my office.
Yeah.
I'm texting our friend saying, answer the phone when we pick up your cousin Jimmy. Back in Toronto.
Yeah. So at this point, they got my license. And like, this is like actual police. We're not talking campus security. So I'm like, sorry, shitting bricks. They're back with me now. George is like, fuck, what do we just tell them, like, say sorry? And like, what do we do? I was like, no, we gotta stick to the fucking lie. We're gonna stick to this lie.
Deny.
Yeah.
Yep.
And no, they didn't say. They said, "What's his last name?" I'm like, I don't know his real last name. He's cousin Jimmy. Jimmy.
You don't know.
You know Italians like Paisan.
Just cousin Jimmy, man.
Anyways, so they ended up coming back like, "Hey, you guys got to get it. If we back you up, will you leave?" I'm like, "If you guys back me up, I'll get out of here." So they backed us up. We got escorted. 2 police in the front, 2 police in the back, and got escorted off the campus.
That's impressively fucked.
It was fucked.
How nervous were you?
Oh, bro, they had my license.
Yeah. That's
so it's
scary.
Like I literally can't leave because we're on day 4. This is day 4 of this trip.
How long?
Still haven't showered yet either. Still haven't showered. This was day 4.
That's not a good thing. Yeah. This isn't.
So we did. So after Connecticut, we did Yale.
And like no problems at Yale.
Princeton. Yale was cool. Princeton's one of the nicest schools ever. It's like Hogwarts. It's like Hogwarts.
I've literally heard Princeton's sick.
I haven't been to Princeton, but I just did a bunch of universities when I just went last week. Columbia.
Oh, I heard Columbia's nice.
Columbia's nicer than Harvard.
I heard Columbia's
way nicer than Harvard.
But Princeton was fucking nice. So we did. Yale. Then we did in New York. We just parked the RV. It was my birthday, so we did some drinks and stuff. Then the girls left us, and then we went down the Eastern Coast. So we did like Baltimore, Washington, Jersey.
Okay.
A whole bunch of places down that trip. Philly was cool too. Like I think we did 3 days in Philly just because we had a really good spot at Temple. You built the Temple?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
We had a great spot there. We crushed it 3 days in a row.
Okay.
So we stayed in Philly for a little bit. Then we made our way down to Florida. We did a bunch of schools in Florida. We didn't do Miami, that side. We just stayed on the west side of Florida.
Okay, I got you.
Then it was my brother's wedding, so we all flew back for a week. My brother got married. Then I flew down with one of the other guys.
Where'd you leave the
RV? At my house in Florida.
Smart.
My family has a house in Florida, so we left it there. And we had to get new water, drain the shit. We did all that stuff. We left it at an RV shop. So they did that.
Okay.
Picked it up. Then I drove with our intern. Actually, it wasn't our intern. I think he was our marketing coordinator. Can't remember. It was me and one guy. We drove from Florida to Texas in 4 days or 3 days. And we did Florida. No, not the Seminoles. We did the Gators, University of Florida.
Awesome time.
We did that. And that was, Hood Meals on TikTok?
I feel like I've heard of them.
Hood Meals? Hood Meals.
Maybe not actually.
So we ended up meeting up with him.
I'm actually glad you tried that.
Yeah, we did a deal with him. That was funny. So we saw Florida U versus Alabama, I think.
You're getting a lot of good games. You lined up some fucking.
It was fucking
who did the map? Who broke down that?
Me and George, we're
3 hours just. Hey, let's do this game. Let's do this game.
We also saw Tennessee Titans versus Buffalo Bills Monday nighter too on the way back, and the Titans.
Was that when Derrick Henry went off?
Yeah, two touchdowns, 200 yards, and they stopped Josh Allen on the 1 yard line to win the game.
I remember this.
Yeah. Well, so we drove from Florida to Texas in 3 days. We did LSU, which was sick.
So sick.
Where else did we do? Then we did Austin, Dallas. We did Austin City Limits around the same time.
Yep.
And then me and George made our way back from Texas all the way back to Toronto, and we did it in a week.
This is all in 1 week?
No, so the whole trip was...
whole tour.
The whole tour was 60 days minus a week
for the
wedding. So 5 weeks total.
Crazy. Yeah. That is fun. What was your favorite spot? And then your least favorite spot?
So, for work or just in general, where did I have the most fun?
Yeah, take away the fucking downloads.
Take away the downloads?
What did you like? What did you like?
Well, we didn't really go out or party. It was this was a fucking work trip. But I'm not gonna lie, you go to we were at Texas A&M.
I fucking hated Texas.
I thought it was so cool because there was it was Texas A&M versus Alabama. We didn't go to the game though. We didn't go to the game.
I'll tell you, I fucking hated
And that was the game where Texas A&M almost upset Alabama or something.
Oh yeah.
So that was wild. We didn't go to the game, but that was just a really cool experience.
I agree.
Mississippi State.
Fuck yeah, I love hearing that. I'm going there. I'm fired up.
I gotta see if this was it because I think
it's probably Mississippi State.
I gotta check because that was fucking absolutely wild.
Maroon and white, right?
Maroon and white.
Yeah, it's Mississippi State.
So I think that was that. Also, the Florida game was that night was crazy.
Gainesville's sick. Gainesville's really sick.
Gainesville. We had a really good time. We went out. We tried to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
But again, it's tough.
You're there for work.
You're there for work, and we were. It's not like you're doing a fucking desk job where after you close your laptop, you're done. You can go enjoy yourself.
I get it.
We were there to get down. So any person you meet, you're trying to get the download.
You're trying to get it download.
So it's even we're at the fucking bar, and I'm fucking 31 at this point. I got grays. I'm fucking clearly not young anymore. So you talk and I'm single. So you talk to some girls, and then it's I want to wheel you, but at the same time I need these downloads too. So it's fuck. Okay. What's up? Checking my fucking app. Blah blah blah.
I get it.
You put everything on the back burner to try and get these downloads and try and work.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you're just fucking beat. I'm just I don't even want to talk to anybody. I don't even want to have a personal conversation because I'm just I'm just done.
I completely get
so
that.
One school that was really cool that we didn't actually work at was Georgia. We went to Georgia. I was really excited to see Georgia.
Okay.
We didn't get to work there. We got kicked off instantly.
Wait, why?
Like literally, as soon as we saw the school, we opened up. Campus security came by, and then like the building's manager came by. He's like, "Yeah, where's your permit?" We're like, "We don't have it." He's like, "Without a permit, don't even bother. Get the fuck out of here."
Fuck, eh?
So that was that. I know. I actually liked Philly. I thought Philly was cool. To be honest, everything was fucking cool.
It's cool to see everywhere's different.
Well, and then you watch March Madness now, and I'm like, I know that school. I was there. Like this goes there.
Yeah.
Princeton, physically speaking, Princeton at night felt like I was walking through Hogwarts.
That's crazy.
Like even the lights with the trees and like the old like historic looking buildings. And I tried to buy like a keepsake or something from like every school.
Same,
like
that's
some
what
of
we
them,
do.
like stickers.
Yeah.
Stickers for my suitcase.
Yep.
And Princeton was the only hat that I actually like went out and bought a Princeton hat.
Okay.
Like from the actual school, because usually we just go like Walmart or Target, buy like the fake $15 one. I went into the Princeton store. I brought myself a nice Princeton hat and a sticker for my suitcase because Princeton was one of the nicest.
You still have the hat?
Yeah, it's actually at my parents' house.
Nice. Okay,
yeah,
like
or it might even actually be here. I don't know. But now I start collecting them because, like, I went to Arizona. I was in Arizona back in February, and I went to an ASU game versus a basketball game. So you go and buy a hat.
Yeah.
I don't know, just so many fucking cool places.
They're all different.
And they all have their like own unique things to them, right?
Yeah, they
like,
do.
Some schools might have like a really nice campus. Like I remember seeing like Florida, University of Florida's campus, like thinking that was fucking crazy.
The swamp. Yeah.
Yeah,
just
like
a unique spot.
and it's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
But fucking
like same
nowhere.
Connecticut.
UConn.
I think, UConn is a school of I think 50,000 people. And you're driving there, you're like, where the fuck's this school? Like, we're in like rural bumfuck nowhere.
Literally nowhere.
Nowhere.
Dude.
And then
nowhere.
you pull up to, you're like, this is gorgeous. And everything's in this little campus. It's its own little city in the middle of nowhere. And I thought that was so fucking cool.
Everywhere's different. You'll get like the weirdest places, like State College, Penn State. Like that's the most amount of students that go to a school. State College is in the fucking middle of Pennsylvania. It's like, what the fuck is State College? It's just a school. But it is so much fun.
Wild.
It is wild. And some places are more dangerous, like Baton Rouge, like LSU. You make a bad, like, they even said to us, like, after, like, the owner of Fred's already told us, hey, like, when you guys leave, like, make sure you guys have a ride home. Like, he wanted to make sure we're going to be good because if you go, like, make the wrong left, you're in trouble. It was, like, a known thing. So everywhere's, you know what I think's nice? Ann Arbor. Safest college town. Yeah, Ann Arbor, Michigan.
We did Ann Arbor. It was our second last stop. So we ended our trip. So we did, so we saw the Tennessee Titans Monday nighter in Nashville. So we tried to work that day, but it was just like a driving day. It was tough. We worked at the tailgate. So we parked our RV there, and we had this little wagon that we'd bring like merch and random shit in so we could work. And we carried it around. Then we saw the Monday nighter, which was fucking unbelievable.
That's sick. That is pretty sick.
It was just like perfect timing. It was like, and they won. And me and George, me and George are best friends, and we're also Titans fans.
That's huge.
Like
Why the Titans?
First football game I ever watched was Super Bowl 2000 and I like the Titans colors better. Titans versus Rams. And the Titans, I like the Titans blue.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, you're just comparing.
And George was just a Titans fan too because he liked Eddie George or something, one of the players.
Okay, sure, yeah.
So just randomly, we were best friends and we both happened to be fans of the same team. And our team was playing on Monday night against the Bills, which is like your second team just by like location.
Yeah, I agree.
So we saw that. Then we again made our way back. We went to Ohio, but then towards the end of our trip, it was right before Halloween, so it was starting to get a little bit cold. Yeah. So we got a really cold day in Michigan.
I hate that. Sucks.
And like we had a good spot, and like we'll park anywhere because they're gonna chase us off. Worst case scenario. And it was our second last day because we ended at Western. That's just like the school we graduated from. So it was nice, like kind of full circle moment ending at Western. But yeah, so I thought like Ann Arbor was cool, but I don't know, nothing special.
Didn't have the great. I get it. I think it's safe. It's a safe spot. Like I was okay walking home from the bar at night, but like some of these other schools, like don't know how we're getting home, but we're calling somewhere. You know what I mean? Like calling an Uber or something.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. But yeah.
That's why. Okay, so what do you got going on this year? Where's the tour going this year?
I don't have it memorized, but we actually did. This is kind of fucked. We did a last minute change. So we had an original schedule.
And how do you come up with your schedule?
So because we drive, like you got to make it work. So we got to take away the schools that we've already been to. And a big thing, all the best videos, like for the views wise, had great game days. So it was just a good game. So it's like not a shitty team in town, not a shitty school in town. You know what I mean? So you really want to try to line up good games, but that gets tough. That gets really fucking tough when you're trying to go down.
And it gets expensive.
Top down.
Like,
exactly.
do you go like east-west?
So our first one was more East Coast. And then when we do the winter tours, that's more West Coast. So we've done the West already. Now we're doing more central to east. So we have Minnesota, Iowa State, Mississippi State, Kansas State,
September
Oklahoma.
11th to 17th. Fuck.
That's the LSU game.
I'm busy that weekend, but fuck. Maybe if I could try and move some things around.
Oklahoma, Iowa, Cincinnati, ECU, UCF, Orlando, UT, Texas, TCU, Virginia Tech, Virginia.
So you know what cool this is? We did Virginia. We've done TCU. We did Texas. We did Mississippi. What's this? Top right?
That's Kansas State.
We
get a lot of so we went to Kansas, and a lot of people, and we gave Kansas a goods rating. I had fun at Kansas, and the amount of kids that said that's not even the best party school. You got to come to Kansas State. 2 days ago, the day before we launched this on Thursday. Wednesday night, it's like 9 o'clock. We're at me and Change here at the office. We just have like a co-working space in fucking like Oakville or like borderline Oakville, Mississauga. And he's like, you know what, dude? We don't have enough like good games. Like we were going through the games and a lot of them were like we were seeing Western Michigan 3 times. And he's like, what the fuck? Like this isn't good, right? He's like, he didn't even want to go to Mississippi State because we had them versus Western Michigan like week 7. So he's like, dude, they play Bama or LSU. Like that's the last SEC school that we're gonna go to. It's got to be an SEC game. So he's like, we just started changing shit, and we looked at it. We have on average the drive now, because we drive every Monday, is going to be like, I think on average is like 8-ish hours now. So they're
not terrible though.
It's not bad, but we have a couple like 12, 13 hours in there, and like 116. So now it's like, it's just, we made longer drives to get better games, because we have like Iowa State, Iowa rivalry game, Virginia Tech rivalry game, TCU, Texas. That's a fucking huge game. Texas is playing another good. So we just have a lot of high quality games.
I might be going to the Red River Showdown this year.
We were thinking about putting that on and saying, fuck the school. Why don't we just go watch Oklahoma, Texas? But then we were like, no, like, because that would mean we would never visit Oklahoma, and we wanted to give OU, because like, I feel like that's one of the schools.
Weekend. No,
it's the weekend out. That weekend.
Thanksgiving.
That's
I'm going down. I'm going to Texas for Thanksgiving.
Fuck, that's a sick weekend. So it's in Dallas, right?
Yeah. So I'm in Dallas the Thursday, Friday, Saturday for a pickleball tournament. And then I'm driving.
We got to talk about pickleball eventually. Not now, but like, we got to talk about
So I'm going down there to play in one myself. I do play pickleball.
So you're nasty.
No, I suck.
What
I
do you mean,
suck,
dude?
bro.
You like own a team?
I know, man. It's wild. I suck. Out of all the owners in the league, I'm the worst player. And I'm by far the most athletic. I'm just shit, man.
How'd you get into
Hold on, I'll tell you. Let me go. So I'm going down to play in the tournament, and then I saw there's no NFL games on the Sunday in Texas that weekend.
Okay.
Houston doesn't play, and the Cowboys don't play. I was like, fuck.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? Let me check college.
Yeah.
So there's Texas A&M plays. Texas A&M plays the Longhorns, I think.
That's a pretty good game.
And then you have Oklahoma versus.
Would that be versus?
No, so that's versus University of Texas.
Yeah, that's versus Texas.
So there's 3 games that weekend. That's Saturday. One's Baylor versus. We went to Baylor too, actually.
Okay.
There's 3 games, but one's the Red River Showdown, which is Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah. In Dallas. Yeah.
That's in Dallas. So we might do that depending on what time I play pickleball and depending on what time the game is, because they don't release the game time, because I think it's gonna be prime time.
Yeah. And
then the Sunday I'm going down. Me and my family are driving to Austin just to see Austin for days, and then I'm going to see Mumford & Sons at Austin City Limits.
Okay.
So I've got
that is a big music festival weekend.
Yeah,
I remember because last year we were gonna go to Texas last year, but their schedule was so shit. And one home weekend, this guy's like, "Oh no, dude, everyone's going to Austin City Limits." And I was like, "What the fuck's that?" He's like, "Sick music festival." Yeah.
It's not even just EDM; it's everything. And so when I travel now, I do what you guys do. I try and line up either a football and a concert, a pickleball tournament, and something else.
Yeah.
And if you see my spreadsheets that I have right now, like, it's fucking wild.
How do you plan?
So I have a spreadsheet. And I just have every weekend for the rest of the year. And then I just start throwing in. So it starts with pickleball. So that's my first column. If there's a pickleball game.
Okay.
Second column's NFL. Third column is Leafs and Raptors. Fourth column's concerts.
Okay.
And then you need to two out of the 4 columns have to have something in it for it to be considered.
If it has like 3, is it, or it's a go?
So it's a 3. It's like it's no brainer. It's done.
Okay. 4 has there ever been a 4? No way. No way.
So I wasn't doing pickleball before.
Okay.
But I've done. Usually they're 2. Usually I get 2 good ones. So like I've done. Actually, I almost had. If I was going to go to New York for my birthday, me and Danny. And
we still good.
I can't. I'm busy with work. So that checked off pickleball tournament, 2 NFL games.
Oh yeah.
And there was something on the Saturday. I can't remember what it was.
Your
like a
birthday.
DJ that I liked was playing at like Marquee or something.
Okay.
So it was like that was
That's
3.5.
3. Yeah.
But it was technically 4.
Okay.
What else is there? There's Nashville for Halloween has the Titans play the Falcons, the Leafs play the Preds.
That's
the problem is though, but I think going to Nashville during Halloween takes away the Nashville country like part of it. Because I feel like everyone's dressed up. I want to go to Nashville. I want to be dressed up as a cowboy. I want to wear my
Go like that. Who cares? That's your costume. You're
No,
not a cowboy.
people. I don't think that's. I feel like that's a bad costume.
I feel like people will dress up there as
people
like
because everyone's gonna go out like that on a regular Saturday. Do you know?
people will be dressed up in their costumes. I don't want to see people in costumes in Nashville. I want to see people dressed up in costumes, not dressed up in costumes.
I can understand that.
I just feel like
can understand.
I was in Nashville in December. And I didn't even go out. Like I was with family, but you're walking up and down Broadway, and it looks like people are in costumes regardless.
No, because that's what they wear. But that's what I want to wear.
It's not. It's all tourists. Like tourists are going. I'm in Nashville. I'm putting on a cowboy hat, boots, and a sparkly dress.
But even the non-tourists,
it's like a Taylor Swift concert on a regular day.
You cannot compare a Taylor Swift concert to a regular night out in Nashville.
Guys, people are dressed up. There's bachelorettes.
Yeah,
everyone's in all.
That's true.
Everyone's in pink, and the girls in white. It's a
It is
classic
kind of like a
costume.
Taylor Swift concert.
Guys,
It is a Taylor Swift concert on a regular basis.
No, it's not.
Someone prove me wrong, please.
I've done both. You haven't been to a Taylor Swift concert.
What's the Taylor Swift concert? Like what's
Taylor Swift concert is
pink
literally
cowboy hat?
Okay, that was what I wore.
You wore one.
That's what I wore. But
like that's literally Nashville.
No, Nashville's regular cowboy hat's not pink. You might get the 1 out of 200 that has a pink cowboy hat.
You go down Broadway, it's all tourists. No locals are going to Broadway unless it's like once. I have no friends that live in Nashville. They go to Broadway maybe once a year because they have friends visiting.
So then how many? So every time I've gone to Nashville, I end up meeting up everyone I meet is a local. Then tell me that.
Well, that's just based on your experience.
Yeah.
But that's
like
also based on your experience.
Okay,
it's like common knowledge that majority of Broadway is going to be tourist. It's common knowledge.
But that's like saying majority of Yonge Street is tourists in Toronto.
Yeah, okay, fine.
It's not.
In like certain months?
No, there's definitely
a difference.
If we're saying Vegas, it's different.
In Broadway.
Yeah, there's definitely more tourists in Broadway.
So I'm saying
I also went there when the Cowboys were playing, so literally everyone was from Dallas.
Okay, but again, Danny, not literally everybody's from Dallas. Maybe like 5% of the people there were from Dallas.
No, like 90.
Danny, the stadium only fits 50,000 people.
90% of the people were in Cowboys jerseys, including
at the stadium, not Broadway, Danny.
What do you do before a game? You're on Broadway having drinks, lunch, dinner, everything. You walk across the bridge.
Okay, so then during the game, there's nobody else in Broadway. That weekend, there's nobody else in Broadway.
Oh my God, Kay, I'm not having this fight. Majority of people, a lot of people who are out on Broadway are tourists. That's it.
What are we saying though? Like
Costumes.
Nashville has to be one. Nashville might be my most favorite city in the United States.
Oh, I love Nashville too.
That is the
great.
It is literally a better Vegas because the way I look at it is like because to go have fun in Vegas, you gotta be You gotta be loaded. For a guy like us, we can't do that. We can't go to Vegas, drop bands to have a good night. Do you know what I'm saying?
My family bought tickets to F1.
Okay.
So my dad's like, "Do you want to go?" And I said, "No, I don't care for F1 at all."
It's in Vegas.
Yeah, it's in Vegas.
Okay.
And I said, "I don't care." He goes, "Yeah, but you can come. Like the weekend will be sick." And I said, "Dad, the weekend's gonna be crazy." But for me to go out in Vegas during that weekend is gonna cost me 5 times as much as it would normally, and I'm not. When I go out, I want to have a table, and I have no problem spending a little bit of money to have a table. But the cheapest table during that weekend is gonna be like 10 grand. I don't have fucking 10 grand to sit in a shitty table in the court. I told my dad, I'm like, "Dad, you pay for it. I'll fucking go anywhere you want. No problem.
Yeah.
If it's on your bill, I got no problem." He's like, "I'm not fucking paying for your booze." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'm not coming."
Yeah, and then I'm not coming. Yeah,
and like, I mean that in a nice way. I don't care for F1 even the slightest.
Okay.
If he's like, "Do you want to go to Vegas to see, I don't know, Ed Sheeran or something?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it. I'm in."
What a wild. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You're an Ed Sheeran guy.
I would much rather see Ed Sheeran than an F1 race.
Not aligned.
I would actually rather sit at home than watch an F1 race.
You were miserable.
I'm not hooked on the F1 even though it's gone big because of like that Netflix series and whatever. I'm not hooked on F1, but it like does look cool.
No, it's sick.
It does look sick.
I love it.
Okay, so I'll tell you from a non-race car person, non-like racing fan, you're sitting in these shitty little seats. Like, picture your worst football experience, the worst seat you've ever had at a football game.
Done.
It's worse than that. Bro, there's no backrest. There's no backrest.
Yeah.
So we're in bleachers. Every 2 seconds someone walks by, you get kneed in the back. So we sat down, and we were in one of the best spots. We were at this, like, apparently a really good
These
curve.
are, like, other than the paddock, these are, like, the best spaces in Montreal.
So unless you're, like, rich, you're sitting in fucking seats like this. So we're sitting. As soon as we sat down, I kid you not, within 2 minutes, this guy walked by, knees me like fucking dead in the back, hard, accidentally. And I'm like about to turn on the side. The guy's like, "Man, my bad. So sorry." Like, and you have this much space.
Yeah.
You have like a foot, but like, you have to sit here as well.
Yeah.
So picture this, and people have to walk by this. So you're like,
oh, that's just awkward. It's just awkward, uncomfortable.
Yeah, and then again, you only get to see one turn of the race, and you have no commentating. So I have no idea what's fucking happening.
You don't even know.
I don't even know who I'm cheering for.
It's a lot better to watch on TV, I will admit.
Yeah.
But going is for the experience. You're going for the Grand Prix weekend.
So the weekend was great. We had a fucking blast.
This is Montreal, right?
We had a blast.
Yeah, I saw a couple of your TikToks recapping. What do you like about Montreal?
Everything was perfect. He loved the girls. All the guys were ugly.
Oh man, yeah. Like all the women were fucking stunning. And I was looking around like, there's no, like, I felt bad for Danny. I was like, man, there's no good looking dudes.
That's
here.
what I'm saying about Mississippi. That's what I'm talking about. So Mississippi and Montreal, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, like even there's times I'm
like literally standing at the bar one night, we looked around. He's like, yeah, Danny, you're right. Like, there's no one.
I'm looking around. I'm like, there's no good looking dudes here for you, man. Like, that's shitty. And like, I'm looking around. I'm like, that girl's stunning. That girl's stunning. That girl's stunning. That girl's stunning. That girl's stunning.
I don't know what it is about Montreal, like Quebec, French.
And like a Toronto 6, like guy would have been like a 10 in Montreal.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. I'm not kidding.
Okay, maybe like 6 was a 10.
Yeah. Okay, like a 9 or 8, maybe an 8.
I don't know.
Like a Toronto 7 would have been like a Montreal 9 that weekend.
Damn, good weekend to be from Toronto and Montreal for your dude.
Yeah,
That's wild.
But okay, back to the tour.
Yes.
When you guys, so how do you guys decide? You just sit there, look at a map, and say, or is it based on game days though?
So it's like
it's just games though.
So we all like for this one wherever we've been obviously crossed off, and we know the main schools that we wanted to hit: Texas, Oklahoma. A lot of people say ECU was just a rowdy time, so that's dashed in there. TCU, UCF's the second or like.
But is it based off what you guys want, or is it like do you like your followers and what they recommend?
It's based on sometimes it's what the followers say. Like we'll have a lot of DMs like Kansas State and Cincinnati. We oddly have like a lot of people follow us from from Ohio, the state of Ohio. Okay, Every Ohio school we've been to has been awesome. Ohio State, Ohio University, fucking literally alcoholics. That's a whole other story. Just alcoholics. Ohio State, and then Miami, Ohio. Good time. Great time. University of Cincinnati was the one school that we kind of like just didn't give a chance. And they had a couple good years in football, right? It's like big city, yo, give us a chance. And we had so many DMs like, yo, are you coming to Cincinnati? And I would text them before we launched, yo, man, sorry, we're not going. And I was like, you know what? I was talking to Chancey. Why this school gets fucked over Tulane? So the one in Louisiana where Mardi Gras is, Chancey was like, you know what? We can just go and film Mardi Gras because that's the best weekend in Louisiana. Like, who the fuck raves about Tulane? Even though online a lot of people say Tulane's great. We fucked off Tulane, added in Cincinnati, and then we dashed in Kansas State over Nebraska. I was like, why the fuck would we? I don't get any messages about Nebraska, but Kansas State, we have a lot of people message. So the fringe ones are people that like message, hey, you got to come. Like Nebraska, no one's messaged us to go to fucking, even though after we didn't have it, we did end up getting messages. Why is Nebraska on here? I'm like, we're not going to Nebraska.
You can't please everybody, right?
You can't. It's
okay, wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Just some of the schools become like a top school for you guys because of the events you guys throw there.
That's a good
question.
And
then the people, like your followers and your fan base are they're making it a better time, or is it the actual school itself?
That's a good question. I can confidently say there has been, it depends on how fun the weekend is. The schools, like when we went for Alabama, it was homecoming weekend versus Tennessee, their rivalry game. Everything about that was great. Do you know what I mean? The people were nice. We didn't have no bad vibes. It was, so you can kind of say, yeah, if our weekend's good, the school score rating is going to reflect that. But there's also times that like some schools get fucked because of our ratings. Like we rate it based on athletics, which is like the game day experience, how your sports are, because that is important in a school. Then your Greek life and your bar life. A school like Ohio University or JMU, James Madison, for example, they partied really good, like great, actually awesome. But their athletics kind of goes down because they're just not an athletic. Like no one, Ohio University and JMU, they're not in March. They don't have a basketball program, football program. So it's like that got fucked. And we actually got comments saying, hey, these smaller schools can go hard. It shouldn't be that high of a percentage for the athletics is what comments were saying. There's got to be somewhere else to, people wanted like a vibes rating. You know what I mean? Because the vibes were good to help balance it out. But now we're going for football season. So the athletics like is going to be good. But if there's more love and if it is a better time, yeah, the school's going to be better.
This is so completely off topic, but I just feel like we keep talking about Alabama. I'm like on Bama Rush TikTok.
Oh yeah, it's the time. That time of the year.
Obsessed.
That time of the year.
Like there's a documentary that came out.
Did you watch the HBO Max doc? Did you watch it?
How do I watch it? Because it's not on my Crave.
It's on HBO.
Yeah, but that's not on my Crave. So but HBO's Crave.
I don't know actually.
HBO's different too.
Apparently, it's not good either way. But I am just so invested in Bama Rush. You obviously talk about Greek.
Yeah, I've heard. So, do you know what the machine is?
You guys should just go for,
do you know what the machine is?
Like Rush Week.
You can't film that shit. Do you know what that, and the documentary apparently was bad because you can't actually film.
And it's only from one girl's perspective,
and it's
apparently.
from one girl's in a shitty fucking sorority. So it's like, that was, you kind of saw, like, they made the trailer look sick though. I will say.
Oh, they made it look amazing.
Fucking awesome. Like,
am I the only one that has no idea what this is?
Bama
so there was
Rush?
a documentary made about Bama Rush because of every year in the month of August, because the girls are there end of July, basically getting ready for Bama Rush and getting in a sorority, a top sorority at the University of Alabama for a girl is like,
it's harder than getting into the school.
Yes.
And if you knew how much it costs to be in these sororities, for like one of the best ones, it's like $5,000 a semester, not including all the extra costs. That's just a registration fee to get in, and you have to go through like the rush. Some people pay someone to like counseling beforehand to like, how do I get into the top sorority?
There are agencies for fucking consulting on
that was the word.
How is my daughter gonna get in the top sorority? And there are parents.
You pay for it,
dude. No, this is a real thing. I'm not joking. Like, this is right.
And I'm just so sad. All the girls that my bracelet's from David Yurman, my necklace is from Cartier.
Man, that's
my
fucked.
anklet
So
from Kendra
the
Scott.
entire month of August is basically Rush. And if there's been stories where girls have said they ended up transferring schools because they didn't get into their top 3. I didn't get into Alpha Phi. I didn't get into Tridel in Alabama, so I went to another school. They then leave because they would not be satisfied if they weren't in that sorority.
Now that we're talking about it, your TikTok algorithm's gonna like just bring this.
Now
to you.
you're fucked.
It is the most interesting thing ever, and they all look the exact same. Like the fakest tan you could ever imagine, the most makeup in the world,
so fake. Yeah,
the blonde hair up to the walls, like
a slight accent. Some of them, like
not slight accent, big heavy accents. But like,
I
they
love
come
me
from,
a good Southern accent.
I fucking hate it.
No.
I don't like it.
It is wild.
I am not on the Southern accent.
You know what's my fucking thing? British accents.
Oh. Really? You're a British accent.
You know what's actually fucking taking over my Instagram? Like Israelis. Like fucking pretty Israeli women. Oh my god. I have no idea what they're saying, but I'm here for it.
You're in love, man.
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah. Well, this Bama Rush, by the way, like, is absolutely fucked. So that whole, I've heard story, and I don't know like to what extent a lot of it's true, but basically, do you know what the machine is?
No.
There's an underground, like, secret society, basically, in Alabama, at the University of Alabama.
Wait, is this a real thing?
This is an actual thing. So I don't know. Again, if you're in Greek life, you know about it. Absolutely. I don't know anything of it. But there was a question in the video when I was doing interviews on the game day. One of my questions was, what is the machine? And every single sorority girl or fraternity guy would be like, the machine is not affiliated here with Greek life at the University of Alabama. I do not know anything about it. It's like a generated automated response that they would pump out. This girl literally, it was as if she had it memorized and had to re-say it 5,000 times when I asked her. And I was like, what? She's like, ask me another question. Like, it was like, you can't.
So what is the machine?
It's an underground secret society that basically controls all the decisions within Greek life, making Greek life proliferate at the school. For example, that homecoming weekend, you got to pick during, like, the student body has to pick a guy and a girl to be representatives of the student body, and it's always going to be a girl and a guy in Greek life. This machine, I don't know who the higher ups are. I don't know. It's like the higher ups of each like fraternity and sorority. There's like meetings and shit, and they say you're going to vote this girl. Like, they pick someone, and it's like everyone has to. There's people on campus going around only promoting this person. But the rest of and it outbeats the rest of the student body that's not in Greek life, because that's how many people are in Greek life. And because they're in charge of like student body here at the University of Alabama, all the money goes into Greek life.
And like
all of the money they pick, alumni money, go into Greek life, everything.
Like
everything.
One of the houses got a renovation. I think it was like $13 million, the renovation.
We had a tour of Sigma Chi. They had a mural, $1.2 million. We walked by, they're like, that's $1.2 million. Just a fucking painting. They don't flinch.
I'm gonna be Googling the shit out of this machine thing.
Oh, search up the machine. What is the machine? Caleb Presley, Caleb Presley Barstool, did a documentary at the University of Alabama. Hilarious. They can't talk about it. They're like, what is the machine? He's like, I can't. Like, they can't, because you can't talk about it. But everyone knows what it is, but you know what it is, but you can't talk about it. It's a
wild.
And this Bama Rush thing is basically just like it just goes to show if there's any school that cares about Greek life, it's Alabama to AT.
And it's like picked up, and like it's so funny seeing too, because like all like the now that it's like Bama Rush, like it's slowly like ending right now.
Yeah.
But like all the D1 athletes go beforehand, so they're like competing, being like, we've been here since like mid-July already. But it's just completely. But you can be an athlete and still be in sorority, but it's just like rare because of like timing wise. But like, so then you see the cross reference. I don't know. I love it.
There's also a lot of
So
problems though. Like I've
intriguing.
also talked to girls at the University of Alabama in like one of the top houses like AFE, and they weren't in it at one point. I was like, oh, why'd you drop? Just because like the rules are strict. You know, this is a school that you take your shit like seriously. So here's for example, you can't post any like bikini pictures or anything, or you can't post pictures if you're under 21. You can't post yourself at a bar or holding a beverage that might have alcohol. So she posted like a bathing suit once. She gets a call from like, I don't know, her higher exec of the sorority, goes into the office like, delete this picture. And she's like, no, I like the picture. She was on vacation, like a family vacation for like New Year's. They're like, this is unacceptable. This is not how any of our sisters here in the sorority, like we don't promote women like this. So like it's out, delete this or you're gone. She's like, I'll quit. It's like, it is so like, I'm not joking.
I think I've seen something like that on TikTok, because I remember seeing something how like the frats and the sororities in the States have so many more like in Canada. I was in a frat life. Like there's like no real rules.
Well, no.
Like,
So at Western,
don't fuck one of your brother's ex-girlfriends or something like that. Those are the rules.
Okay, so at Western,
People break them all the time.
No, but that's like like the dudes. It's not like that. You know what I mean? Like that's like the sororities.
The sororities are different because like my friend at Western, on Sundays they had like a mandatory meeting. And it was like a practice meeting where they like sat there and practiced songs. Anyway, she fucking hated it.
No.
So she would come hang out with me and Becca after dance. She used to have to pay every Sunday $250 to the sorority for missing this meeting.
Yeah.
So your friend was rich.
That's what you got.
That's what I got at.
Like that's what you got out of it.
$250,
but
And that's like at Western. So like
I never went
States.
to mine at Western. I never went to my meetings. I was
People like it's just like they take their shit. Like, don't post that. She would have pictures of alcohol, delete.
But I think this comes to show that like everything in the States is to the extreme. The sports are the extreme compared to Canada.
Correct.
Sororities, Greek life,
everything.
The
It's
extreme.
night and day.
Like,
It's night and day.
There's no comparison because it
Zero.
is the only place that can actually do that.
When I have kids, I will do everything in my power to send my kids to school in the States.
Okay, now I gotta say this. Now, whatever school they go to, it's like there's loyalty there. Like, you know how you graduate Western, for example? Like, are you going back for any like homecoming games? You going back?
Not homecoming games, but I go back. I try and go back every now and then.
But a lot of people, you know, when you graduate college in Canada, I'm not going back to Waterloo to support and be like, there's no pride in graduating from a school in Canada, but in the state, but in the States, all these tailgates, you'll have 50-year-old dudes. Oh, I was back here in 92. I graduated. Now my son goes there. It's like, that's their pride and joy. It's fucked.
But I love it.
I love it, though.
I get emails from Western probably like every 2 weeks asking me to donate.
Oh, I unsubscribed to that a long time
Have you
ago.
ever donated to your school?
Fuck.
In the States, they would.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they know.
That is like your alma mater. They're like, I am donating. I am doing everything. This is my school.
If it's up to me when I have kids, my kids are going to school in the States.
And that's another thing. Speaking of the donating, for the Greek life, if you have an alumni in your frat or sorority, like if you got fucking like Matthew McConaughey was like a UT guy, you know how much money that guy's put into his frat? Like the big guys that and actually had, because they had fun. That was their fun years before they got rich and famous. Yeah. They chucked so much fucking money. Hey, have a good fucking next year. I'll throw $300,000.
Yeah.
It's just they care. They care, man. I don't know.
Man, I just talking about this gets me fired up. I'm gonna come see you guys down in one weekend in November.
Pick one.
I'm gonna fly down.
Dude,
I'll be your second content guy.
Dude,
actually, no,
yeah.
I'd be the worst content guy.
No.
I'd be the worst. Let's go in November.
Okay, TCU versus Texas is a good game.
Fuck, I'm gonna go back to Texas again though.
You don't have to go to
I'm going to Texas in October.
So Virginia Tech.
Virginia's not too far from here.
Virginia Tech would be the one. That's Halloween week. That's Thanksgiving. I would say Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech would be a good one. Virginia Tech.
Maybe I'll come down, meet up with the boys.
Yeah.
Because honestly, just talking about this gets me so fired up. Like when we did our road trip, I always say like it was the worst experience of my life. Best because you got to see so much and like it was so cool.
I love traveling
the highest
too.
highs and the lowest
but the
lows.
worst, it was just like you're sleeping on the shit fucking bed.
You're in you guys are in
Yeah,
RV,
you're
right?
eating like fucking microwave dollar meals.
See, that's the thing. We're not like we actually like.
You guys aren't scumming it out.
No, we're like we go get groceries every fucking week and we like make I don't know, chicken and rice. Like, we're not. The thing is, and that's another thing that people don't see. Like, you gotta, when you're on the road, you gotta still like, you gotta
have a somewhat routine,
bro. You gotta like
and take care of yourself.
Yeah, you gotta be eating good, making sure you're having your water, not getting sick. Like I got sick. I'll say that I got sick last year in Auburn. I was out the whole week, buddy. I was so fucking. I don't know what happened to me the previous week in Oklahoma State. We got to Auburn right away. We get there the Monday morning. Something's not right. I'm in bed for 3 fucking days. I can't fucking. Everything I'm eating is going out of me both ways. I'm like ill sick. Go to the hospital. They look at me. I feel like I didn't even have done anything. Double IV me, and I've never had an IV, right? Like when you get like to get you fired up and shit. I felt fucking great after, but they're like, this kid like looks dead. Like just give him both arms. I was fucking, I don't know what they gave me, but it was great. But I felt like absolute shit, and that's what happens if you don't like,
if you don't take care of yourself.
If you don't take care of yourself, and you can't go super hard every night. That's another thing. Like, I think kids think we can just go and get sloshed every fucking night. We'll go to like a bar event. I'll have like 3 drinks. And you're just there being a character and being on camera. Yo, let's go get the footage. Now we're gone. You know, and it's actually a lot more like professional than I think a lot of people think. But also some nights, if it's really good and if the crowds, you know what I mean, then it can get a little different. But yeah, you try to you pick your...
Like that Ohio, Michigan State.
Pick a
those fucking milk cartons.
Buddy,
those little mini milk cartons.
I'm not even going to... Yeah.
Percentage-wise, out of like let's say your like road trip.
Sure.
How many nights or like how, like, are you going like full send hard? Like...
I will say per week, at least one. I'll say it's either the game day. If the game day is great,
that's a send.
Pencil in the game day.
So you're going out like, let's say like how many like times a week? Like 3 nights a week?
3.
4?
It'll be Thursday,
3 nights,
Friday, Saturday.
one of those out of the 3.
One's a full send, one's a half send, one's a like barely send.
One's like a show up, 2 drinks. One's like 5 drinks, but still not. I'm like there, and then. The game days are probably the
10-hour
ones
shift.
Exactly. But sometimes if I'm on, something else, then I'll just be not drinking. I got my Adderall and I'll just say that I got my Adderall and I'm feeling great and I don't need a drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm just fucking dialed, and because I'm doing interviews. So I just need to lock the fuck in and just talk for 2.5, 3 hours. So then I'll just be laser focused.
Yeah, you gotta be dialed in.
Just dialed in, and it gets it done. And I don't need fucking alcohol. I'm just focused. But yeah, one of the 3 I'll say is like, I'll wake up a little like hungover maybe.
Do you get hungover? Do any of you guys get like deadly hungover?
Now? Man, I
like
feel
you
like
are 25 now.
I'm 25 now, and I feel like maybe like
it gets harder.
I feel like low key. I feel like now I feel more like shit now. I feel it hits harder a little bit now compared to like 2 years ago.
Just way too more.
You know what's wild? I'm 32 and I fucking still goer.
Like,
I went to bed at 5 a.m. last night. It's probably 6 a.m.
How are you here?
I was up and like, this morning she called me at 11. I saw the call. I was like, no. Got up at 11:45. I ordered myself food, and I was basically sitting here waiting for you guys to come over since like 1:15. Just dialed in, ready to rock and roll. Like I had a couple drinks.
That's good.
No,
but I think now though,
I'm like, mind you, I shook it even harder on Friday. Like I went to bed equally as late on Friday.
No. Like I am like one night. If I do one night, I am dead for the next 24 hours.
The next day's a write-off. The next day's a write-off, and we can't. And now with
I'll go 3 days straight.
With the amount of
and I'll go to the gym too.
With the amount of shit we're doing now, I can't have that. I can't have if I'm drinking, like I'm waking up the next day, and you know what helps? Cold plunges. Fucking those things are like, I don't know what that is, like good cocaine.
Do you ever see like on like TikTok, like I don't know if guys do this, but like girls, like you put your head in like ice. It's actually really good for your face, but like after a hangover.
You know, I saw that Jordan Adesi did it, and I saw.
Okay, so water and ice. I actually did this with my friend back in like 2019 in Vancouver. And she's like, okay, like we were like out the night before, the next day, like we wake up, like she brought me to like some spin class. I'm like fucking dying right now. Like everything's coming out of me, and I'm just like, okay, what do I do? Like I need to be sober. Like we have a whole day ahead of us. Yeah. She's like, okay, let's put our face in like this ice. It's like really good. So she's like a water and then ice, and then you just put your face in it. Get out, face in it, get out. Instantly amazing.
Wait, what's the route? Just twice now,
or anything?
Like you just go like 20 seconds. Yeah. Ice cold water.
Okay. So I'm like that with like cold plunges.
Wait, how do you guys not have a deal with like some like next day pill?
Dude, buddy,
how do you guys not have a deal with them?
We don't get it. I don't know, but we.
But you guys need to hire just a partnerships person.
Just a sponsorship and partnerships.
Dead ass. I agree. We messaged. Cold Churs? It's a cold plunge fucking company. Keep in mind, our audience 97% male, because we're not
Holy fuck,
buddy. 95, and our YouTube's like 98 or 99.
I thought my demographic was hard.
It's different on
I'm
Instagram,
like
TikTok, but like our YouTube 200,000 followers is 98% dude. Keep that in mind.
Wild.
On average, I think it's like it's like high 80s, low 90s, but it's like all dudes, right?
Because it makes sense. Big sausage.
Because it makes sense. No, because it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like we're not like Josh Richards. You know what I mean? Like I don't have girls like coming up to me like, hey, I want to like, you're hot. You know, it's like more
You're
so
a good
guys.
looking dude though.
I wouldn't say I'm like ugly. I'm not like, but I'm not like, I'm not a man missile by any means. You know what I mean? It's more so guys that like think we're funny or they like our content, which I like. I like having that audience. So we have a high male college demographic. Pretty good for a lot of brands are trying to get high, you know, male audience demographic or in the college. And we reached out to this fucking like cold plunge company or like Chancey did. It's like, hey, can you send us? Bro, we just asked for a fucking tub to use for the tour for a cold plunge because we're going to start like using that. They're like, audiences don't align. I'm like, what the how does that even make sense? I'm like, who are you trying to sell to? Athlete? Go for it, man. I mean,
the best is when you get, so I had a brand reach out to me the other day. I'll reach out to brands. I'm like, this is the perfect fit. So I had.
What was the brand? Or do you want to say it?
I can say it. So it was a ring company. They do engagement rings for men.
Okay, that's
so they reached out.
I like that.
They reached out to me and they're like, yeah, engagement rings for men. Like, send us your rates. Blah blah. I was like, look, like respectfully, I don't think this is the right fit. Like,
okay.
I'm not getting married. I'm very single.
Yeah, but you do have a lot of friends that are.
Wait. So then I asked. I said, look, my audience is primarily female. I would assume that men would buy their own engagement rings. But if I'm wrong and women do the buying, then maybe this has legs, right?
Well, women are doing the picking. No matter what.
So that's what she says. 70% of their purchasers are women.
Yeah, with the guy's card.
Yeah. Wow. So that was like, okay, this could potentially make sense, but like, I didn't think that was a good fit at all. Like originally,
for you.
And then there's other times I'm like, this is the easiest fit ever. Like even for this podcast, we have no sponsor right now. I've done deals with so many fucking brands. Last year I did 22 deals. And I'm like,
total on just the podcast?
No, just me personally.
Oh.
It's my TikTok stuff. So I did 22 deals.
Yeah, you're a brand. I like that.
And then I'm just like I'm like, oh, if you guys want like the podcast here, like it's not even expensive. Like you could sponsor the podcast for 6 months for what you would give me to do one TikTok. Maybe not 6 months, maybe 4 months for the price of one TikTok.
Yeah.
And like, oh, well, podcast marketing isn't in the budget. I'm like, just put it under the influencer budget. Put it under the social media budget. It's the same fucking shit at the end of the day. They're like, no, it doesn't lie. We'd rather just do your podcast. Your TikTok. I'm like, it's the same fucking thing. It's literally the same
funnel.
It's literally the same, almost the exact same following, same audience, same everything. If anything, the podcast audience is a little bit better because it's more 50-50. I think it's like a little bit more men than women. Yeah. Whereas like my demographic on social media is like 85% women. I'm just like, and they're like,
you probably get some fucked up DMs. Yeah. Have you gotten some weird DMs? You had to.
I've gotten some. So originally I used to, do you know who Sarah Kurt is? She's doing like these like take strangers to concerts things, right? So that's her series that she does.
Haven't heard. Maybe I've heard.
So she does it, right? She's doing really well right now. I love the idea of it. I'm like, I think
that is a cool idea.
I think it's a great content.
That's a sick idea.
And she's like, why don't you do it? And I've donated tickets to her before because I love what she's doing. I'm so here for that content. And she's like, why don't you do it? Like we'll pick one together. Like let's do it together. I was like, Sarah, like love this, but no, like I want no part of this because I did like something like that once and I got some weird fucking shit. So now I don't even really respond to like the hidden DMs. Like if we don't have mutual friends, I don't respond to the DMs.
Really?
Because I've had some weird shit. I got a girl from Romania or Austria. I can't remember. This is like maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago when I was just starting to get big on TikTok. Sure. And she like DM'd me a whole bunch of times. I didn't respond. And like started getting some weird, like saying some like really weird shit, like scary, dangerous shit for her, not for me. And I was like, I responded. I was like, hey, like go get help. Like take care of yourself. Like you're on the other side of the world. Like then I was getting phone calls. My number's not easily accessible online.
From
and I'm
this
like,
girl?
This random girl from like Romania or something. So I blocked the number. Then she started WhatsApping me. Then she was calling me from a different number. And I was just like, this is fucked. Like this is.
Yo.
Yeah. So, and then I blocked, but then she was like messaging like my like business, like my other accounts and stuff, like just fucking weird. So now I try not to do anything like that anymore. Cause I've gotten some weird ones.
Wow.
A lot of mine are like, again, 99% of mine are very good.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah. You get like recently divorced moms and stuff will hit me up like, your content's really good. Like, it made me smile today and shit. Like you get shit like that.
Yeah. Like
actually, funny enough, I had a girl's mom DM me who I've DM'd the daughter before.
Shut up.
Yeah. Cause I was like, this name sounds so familiar. So I clicked the profile and I scrolled down, like the title's like, recently single mom. And I click and I see the daughter. I'm like, I know this daughter. And I clicked. I'm like, I've DM'd.
I hope he didn't answer back.
No, the girl I DM'd didn't respond to me, and I didn't respond to the mom either.
Okay, it's kind of like a fuck
it's
you
basically
back.
a wash, right? It's a wash. Like nothing happened.
One positive is a negative.
I DM'd her, she didn't respond.
Smart.
She DM'd me, I didn't respond.
That's basic math.
It's a basic double negative, right?
That's a good balance.
Yeah.
That's a good balance.
We are nearing the end. I do want to ask.
Okay.
Aside from the Buzzin across America, like what's the plans for the Boys in 98? Like is it the Buzzin across America is the big thing for the next little bit? Are you guys planning on doing something else? Like what's in the works?
So this is like our last, like, I guess, because now we'll hit like the major colleges for this fall. In 2024, we're actually looking to get, like, we're going to be out of Canada. We're going to be looking to get a place. Don't ask me where yet, but it'll probably be Florida
or Texas.
Our radar is Florida, Texas, Arizona, but Arizona might be too hot, so it's looking like I know. I love Scotts. Don't even get me started on Arizona, but we're going to be somewhere down there to just set up kind of shop. And then for the content wise, we kind of want to be a travel based channel, but like more R-rated, like showcasing and documenting fun experiences that not a lot of people get to see, but through our personality and vlog. Like our Cabo video, for example, really fun. That did great. Our Arizona for the waste management, that video did fucking great. We want to do things like the Indy 500, Kentucky Derby, like just going to cool events, travel based, but showcasing more of our character. That's kind of the goals for 2024. Maybe dash in some other things, like obviously some, can we spend the most amount of money at a bar? You know what I mean? Like breaking that record. Some obviously on brand things, but sticking away from the drinking, more to the lifestyle. Fun travel radar lifestyle.
I love that.
Yep.
Because it's exactly what I do too now. Like I'm trying to get away from dating into this kind of realm, but no, exactly. I love that.
It's
because eventually you're gonna get older too, and it's like, hey, you're not gonna be tailgating.
Well, the hangovers are starting to hit already.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Just imagine next year.
But also, I would like to do an NFL tailgating tour. That could be kind of sick.
Whenever you want.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm doing 5 games this year.
You got to connect. Okay.
So me and NFL Canada were like, Titans and I got NFL Canada.
And NFL Canada.
They hooked me up.
How'd you ink that?
Long story.
Fuck me, man.
Again, you need someone on sponsorship. Like,
I'm going to tell you this, and I'll
that
wrap
is an
it up.
easy one you guys can get.
A buddy of mine, I met this guy. He works at NFL Canada. Cool. Now I do this influencer stuff. So a buddy of mine he worked at the PR company that works with NFL Canada. He invited me to this event. So I went to the event and brought some friends. Danny and Vicky came too. Vicky knew this other guy who worked in the marketing and partnerships department. So I said hi. We made friends. I told him I'm a Titans fan. I wanted to go to the Bills Titans game, but like Monday nighter tickets were like fucking $1 million. This was last season.
Yeah.
So whatever. A couple days go by. Doesn't the marketing manager like email me like out of the blue? And my buddy messaged me, he's like, "What's your email?" I was like, "For what?" He's like, "Oh, like I'm gonna put you in touch with someone." Yeah. Doesn't the marketing manager email me like, "Hey Ricky, heard you're a big Titans fan. I've got 2 seats to the Titans Bills Monday nighter. Like send me your email, I'll send you the tickets." We were 3 guys. So I emailed back. It's like, "Oh, I appreciate you. Thanks so much. Like, if not, like, no big deal. We'll figure it out. But like, is there any possibility I can get one more?" She emails me back like 30 minutes. No problem. I put 4 in your account. Those seats were row 6, end zone. If we had to buy them on StubHub, they were $1,000 each.
Yeah, buddy.
The worst part is Titans got absolutely fucking dominated.
Well, I mean, Titans are
not even
shit.
Not even close.
Even though I'm a Steelers guy, so I can't like say much.
I'll go to Pitts with you, buddy.
So
pick a
down.
weekend. I'll fucking rip Pitts with you. But you got to do it when it's still warm, because I can't do it in the fucking cold. Anyways,
that was great.
Chip, bud, thanks for coming on. This was
that good,
buddy? This was great. We went.
Fun.
This was a long one too. We're trying to keep it to an hour.
No, I checked my time. I don't know what time we started.
Yeah,
but it's literally 4 o'clock already.
We were going today. We're gonna. Chip, you gotta come out for a couple pops today.
I gotta go back home. I got a meal prep. Don't get me there. I'm on my shit.
Out of here.
I'm on my
Anyways,
shit. I might come for a bit just chat.
Chip, if people want to find out more about you, the Boys in 98, where should they go? How can they find you?
At the Boys in 98 on everything. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. My personal is just at Christian.Camarata on TikTok and Instagram. And thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Wow, you're beauty, man. If you guys made it to the end, we appreciate you. Thank you. Give Danielle a follow. Give me a follow. Give Chip a follow. The Boys in 98. Share this with your friends. And other than that, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Let's go. Was that actually good? Yeah, that was great. Let's go, dude.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain. And I don't remember all of my mistakes and every high. Got alone with no one thing. And I